She just was a joy as a child. She was very fun loving. She was just generous. She was kind. She was loving. She she grew up in Montgomery County, Maryland, and had always had lots of friends around. Very social, always very social.
Me and Bernie 32 and Bernie 34. I need you guys for a code 2. Go ahead. Put me a code 2 perspective. I need 6317 Francis. Got a call from Janae. Caller said that an unknown male came up to her door and advised that in the abandoned house a couple of doors down from her house, there is a deceased female in there not moving. Caller says the male left her house 10 to 15 minutes ago. Caller does not know which way the male took off.
Reyna was chasing her lifelong dream of being famous, hoping to one day land a gig on the reality show Baddies Midwest. But her dreams tragically ended when she was found dead inside of an abandoned home on Francis Avenue in Cleveland.
And I said, how do we even know this her? They said they identified by her fingerprints, and I was listed as her emergency point of contact through her fingerprints, and that's how they knew who she was. And then I said, well, what about her personal effects? Well, there were no personal effects found.
Reyna's mother and sister say they have now provided Cleveland detectives with tips they have received from the public after they posted on TikTok. They also say there is information on a Snapchat video where Reyna appeared to be beaten, and she said she was drugged.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this is on Zeus Network at all. I'm not saying this is on no Baddies either. She is Instagram famous. She was on Lives with Tashiki. She even knew Natalie. She even knew Scarface from Baddies. So you mean to tell me while she's in Cleveland, Ohio, she with some girl that I guess she thought that was her friend and leaves her.
And then I had to call to even get the police report number, to get a name, to get any sort of information, to even get to who the detective was that was assigned to the case.
Her exact cause of death has not been determined.
It's January 2nd is when she went dark on Twitter, and there's really nothing after that, but I know that somebody had to have seen her and noticed her within that 2-week period between that date and when she was found on the 16th.
Wow. It's been a nightmare. If you can think of your worst nightmare, this is it times 100.
Hey everyone, it's Leah Gordone here. Whether you're heading back to school, going to college, or just getting back in routine, Raycon's Everyday Earbud Classics are about to be your new companion. From early morning classes to late night editing sessions, these earbuds keep up with everything. I use them while I'm researching cases, editing videos, or just vibing to my favorite playlist between meetings. Raycon's Everyday Earbud Classics come in so many different colors. Of course, my favorite color is purple, as you guys see. They're stylish, they're compact, and they match my energy perfectly. The latest version of Raycon's Everyday Earbuds Classic finally brings the quiet. Active noise cancellation is here, and it's a whole vibe. With multi-point connectivity, I can switch between my laptop and phone without missing a beat. And the 32-hour battery life, game changer. Plus, quick charge gives me 90 minutes of playback with just 10 minutes of charging. Don't believe me? Check out their tens of thousands of 5-star reviews. Check out this sleek case. It's protective and supports wireless charging. I never have to take it off, and it still powers up fast. Whether you're a student, a creator, or just someone who loves great sound, Raycon Everyday Earbuds Classic are the move. Go to buyraycon.com/Leah Gordone to get 20% off the fan favorite Everyday Earbuds Classic. Thank you all for watching, and Raycon, thank you for sponsoring today's episode.
She just was a joy as a child. She was very fun loving. She was just generous. She was kind. She was loving. She she grew up in Montgomery County, Maryland, and had always had lots of friends around. Very social. Always very social.
Karen Reyna Dunlap was born in College Park, Maryland, and raised in Burtonsville. She was an honors student and multi-sport athlete who graduated from Paint Branch High School. Reyna loved Japanese culture, became fluent in the language, and dreamed of creating her own manga. She also adored animals and shared her home with her pets.
She was academically advanced. She was always in talented and gifted classes, honors classes. In high school, she was AP classes, all AP classes, always on the honor roll. She was in junior ROTC for 4 years. She was athletic. She played soccer. She was the captain of her dive team. She did swimming. She did lacrosse. She was on track and field. She was just extraordinary. She took Japanese, she took Chinese, but she was also very, independent, very headstrong, had from early on knew who she was and knew what her convictions were. So when she went on to become a young adult, she moved, that's the direction she moved in. She was very a strong proponent of women's rights, women's empowerment, women's rights to decisions about themselves, about their own body, and being comfortable in who they are.
Pretty much what my mom said. She was always like the life of the party growing up. She was always pretty popular. She was kind of like the social butterfly. I was more of like the timid, shy one. But yeah, she was also just very protective. She was a part of a PAGE program. She worked directly with Martin O'Malley at one point in high school. So she was very much a scholar, which is something that I don't think a lot of people knew about her, just based off of her social media persona. But yeah, my sister's very, very intelligent.
Reyna attended the University of Maryland with dreams of working in politics. Though she didn't finish her degree, she became a bold advocate for body positivity, gaining over 100,000 followers. However, her outspoken views often sparked heated debates, and her family grew concerned about the harsh and threatening comments she received.
She went on, she actually was offered 3 separate scholarships. So she applied to some pretty good schools, but she opted and settled on University of Maryland, one because of the scholarship money, but also because she wanted to stay near to home. She was just short of finishing, actually. She was there for 4 years. And just because of things that came up with her personal life and with her, medical history, they lost their dad at an early age. And she did have a difficult time dealing with that. But she wasn't able to keep her scholarship. And she wasn't able to finish school.
Did she start her social media career during college or high school?
It was during, I think it was shortly after high school, when she was 18 is when she first established her social media presence. And I don't actually believe it was on Twitter. I'm pretty sure it was on Instagram.
Once she started to get more well known on social media, did you guys know about it at first, or did she keep that private?
I don't think my mom knew about it. I knew about it because people would mention it like at school. And just in and around the town that we grew up in. So yeah.
But no,
I don't think she knew.
I didn't know about, I knew that there are a lot of people that knew her for some reason. I go somewhere with her and people knew her and she knew everybody. I just thought that she was extremely popular, but I didn't know that she had a social media presence or a social media following. And she pretty much decided that she was going to keep her family out of that aspect of her life. So she pretty much blocked us from that aspect of her life. So if I tried to find her, for instance, on any social media platform, I wouldn't be able to find her.
Yeah, when I would try to go and kind of keep tabs on her to see what she was doing, she would always block me on her on her Twitter as soon as she found out.
Did anything about social media scare you all?
Like social media, people can kind of like put a shadow or a cover over who they are. So that always like worried me, was that, the people that would write hate comments and stuff like that, the types of people behind those comments can be harmful. And then just like the whole idea of like potentially stalkers, the more of your presence that you have online, the more people we'll be able to find out about you. So those were two of the main concerns.
One of my biggest concerns with her being on social media, and the reason why I don't go on social media, is because you don't know who's out there, who's watching. And, basically when with her social media, she did let me know and involve me in like knowing that she was, pursuing becoming, famous or becoming a celebrity of some sort, reality or whatever. And so she would send like, when she did headshots or she did photo shots or something for whatever, portfolio she was working on, she would send me those pictures and such. She refused to let me take any pictures of her. It's like really hard to get a picture of her. She would always say, "Don't take any pictures of me. If you want a picture, I'm going to send it to you." And that's what she would do. Is she would, if I tried to take a picture of her, I'd have to do it on a slide or catch her when she was in a really, really good mood. No, what worried me the most is when she started talking about, people saying mean things to her, people threatening her, people saying that they were going to come to kill her because of her views or something that she said. She used to host these events. She said, like, she would have these like round talk table things, and she would, she would say, people are always saying they're going to kill me or they're going to send somebody to me or something like that. And I would say, Reyna, I think you should probably block those people or, just really be careful. I said, with people calling you names or saying this or that about you, don't worry too much about that. I said, but if somebody is threatening you, then you do need to, that's something you do need to worry about. I said, if it's get bad, you call the police. So we did. I had certain concerns. The last time that she visited with us on vacation, she had expressed some serious concerns about, things that people were saying to her on social media. And I thought that she had started to scale back on some of the events that she was holding because of that.
Although Reyna had voiced concerns to her family, she remained focused on her goals. In late 2024, she traveled to Cleveland to audition for Baddies Midwest, hoping for a breakthrough. She had previously met cast members and was determined to join the show. Her sister shared that Reyna had been tracking the Baddies cast and spent several weeks in Cleveland. However, the network later stated she was not part of the official audition process. Still, not all Baddies cast members audition. Some are part of the original lineup invited back due to fan demand or handpicked by producers like Natalie Nunn. Auditions are typically reserved for newcomers, while influencers and celebrities are often directly selected.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this is on Zeus Network at all. I'm not saying this is on no Baddies either. But she was going to city, state to state to following behind the Baddies because she was trying to get on the show. On top of that, she is Instagram famous. She was on Lives with Taseki, however you say her name. She even knew Natalie. She even knew Scarface from Baddies. Even had conversations with her, y'all. So you mean to tell me while she's in Cleveland, Ohio, she with some girl that I guess she thought that was her friend that leaves her. They went out to eat, y'all. She called the girl don't even answer.
No, nobody has reached out to us about her, unfortunately, which, I haven't really been the fan of, especially because I that like some of the cast members have been on her live spaces before and she had met them in person. But no, nobody has directly reached out to us, not even to just offer their condolences.
Have you received any of the lives, or do you have any of them?
You mean the lives like that Reyna ran?
Yes, with some of the girls.
No, unfortunately not. It was more so like Reyna told me, and she would try to like call me and so that I would join her live space, but I was always like doing something.
Okay. And she never allowed me. She never allowed me on any of her lives at all. And I remember the last time when she said that people were saying mean things to her. I said, add me to the live, and so I can, respond back to those people. And she would not do it.
Reyna's mother said the family didn't know she was in Cleveland. As a free spirit, Reyna often traveled without informing them, so her absence didn't immediately raise concern.
With Reyna was a free spirit. We love her immensely. We love her to this day. I mean, she has a strong family that loves her, but she was a free spirit. She was somebody who she would be gone for months and then she would pop up. And we didn't ever think anything was wrong or that she was ever in any sort of danger. If she ever was, like I said, she always reached out to family. So this is really shocking for us. And she would go on trips all the time. She would go to Orlando, to Miami, to New York. She would go places, but never to Cleveland. Cleveland was never a place that was on her list of places that she would travel to. And usually when she traveled somewhere, she didn't tell us, hey, I'm going to West Virginia or I'm going, out to Philadelphia. She didn't tell us that. We didn't, it's not unusual. How many families keep tabs on their adults that are in the family? How many families have people that are free spirits? They go off, they do things, and then they come back and they're like, hi, hey. And we're like, oh, yeah, how's everything going?
Reyna was in regular communication with her family until November 2024. She continued posting on social media until January 1st, 2025, after which she went silent. On January 16, 2025, Reyna's body was found in a vacant home on Francis Avenue in Cleveland's Kinsman neighborhood. No personal belongings, phone, wallet, or ID were found at the scene.
We have Barney 32 and Barney 34. I need you guys for a code 2. And radio to Sam 33.
4. Send it.
Sam 33, go ahead. Put me a code to perspective. 6317 Francis. Got a call from Janae. Caller said that an unknown male came up to her door and advised that an abandoned house a couple of doors down from her house. There is a deceased female in there not moving. Caller says the male left her house 10 to 15 minutes ago. Caller does not know which way the male took off. EMS was advised as well. 5410 the cab.
3-5, you send it to us as well.
Go ahead and send that to me, please. Radio to 8280, you still on the air?
8279 is on the air. What do you need, radio?
Can you assist my units for cab 5410?
Yes, ma'am. Send it to me.
Thank you.
Charlie 31, I'm leaving the main shelter. I'll head that way as well.
Copy that, thank you.
32, we got an open door in the back of the house.
What's that address and I'll keep the air clear?
Hi, we're arriving.
Hi.
We're arriving.
6307.
Adam 34 arriving.
2301. 236 radio. We're keeping the air clear. Yeah, just for a second.
Barney 34, we have a female upstairs, not conscious, not breathing.
Happy.
6317, right?
6307 Francis. 6307 Francis. Units on Francis, you guys okay?
We're good. Barney 34. Put us on 5411. We're going to be clearing this house out with them.
I had received a phone call on my phone, and it went. I didn't answer it. I was in the middle of doing something, but something didn't feel right about it to me. So as soon as I had an opportunity, I finished what I was doing. I listened to the voicemail, and again, it didn't say anything. Just to call this number and ask for this person. I looked it up, the number, and it traced back to a number for the county ME, and my heart sank. When I called the number, I talked to someone who said that they, in these exact words, we found your daughter's body, and she's we need to make arrangements for you to pick her, work with a funeral home to have her body come to be picked up. And I never got a call from police. I had to call the police. I had to call District 3, then the non-emergency number, then District 4, and then another non-emergency, just to get to the police. And then when I called the medical examiner's office back, that's the ME back, and I said, how do we even know this her? They said it's her. They identified by her fingerprints, and I was listed as her emergency point of contact through her fingerprints, and that's how they knew who she was. And then I said, well, what about her personal effects? Well, there were no personal effects found. And thinking if there are no personal effects found, there's somebody that's found deceased in a home, and with the clothes that she had on, how is that not a suspicion? And when they said, initially because of where she was found, deemed, it was initially deemed as natural causes, possible overdose. I said, my daughter didn't use drugs. She did not use drugs. And I said, did she have drug paraphernalia, or did she have track marks, anything to indicate she used drugs? No, She didn't have any of that. They based that assessment solely on the fact that she was found in an abandoned house that had paraphernalia around the trash in the room where she was found. That could have been months to years old, is what they told us. So it had nothing to do with the condition of her body. But to put that out there and to even not even start it as an investigation as a suspicious death, that's such a disservice to the people of Cleveland and to anybody who may be a victim of a crime. They didn't even tape off the house. So that's how I found out. And then I had to call to even get the police report number, to get a name, to get any sort of information, to even get to who the detective was that was assigned to the case. We do know that she posted concerns. Well, someone posted, if it was her or not, was posted on her Twitter or X account that she said she was drugged. She said that someone attempted to sex traffic her. She did visit a crisis center on November 29th. We know all of these things, and we know the condition of the place of where she was found and how she was found does not add up at all. She was found with just the clothes on her back, a sweatshirt, a t-shirt, and pants. Nothing else around her. No shoes, no socks, no hat, no coat.
Did they tell you who found her?
No, we still have no idea.
We don't know who found her. We just know that someone alerted a neighbor, and the neighbor alerted the police. And currently, we don't have any of her items. We don't have any of her possessions from Maryland or anything she may have taken with her to Cleveland. We have nothing.
Any pings to her location while she was in Cleveland?
Not right now. They're currently getting that information, but they haven't located it yet as of right now. But they are actively investigating that. But the thing is that like Reyna also carried multiple devices. So that's like also a kind of a more of a issue to the puzzle, is that like there was at a time where Reyna carried 2 phones, possibly more. So just because like, let's say we can only find 1 phone, there's still another phone that we would have to actively search for it and locate.
And we do know that she was taking care. She was shopping at certain places and she was using a debit card in certain places, and that has not been recovered either. Yeah.
In August 2025, an autopsy revealed Reyna died from a stroke caused by blood clots linked to severe malnutrition and dehydration. Her family believes she was abducted around January 2nd, the same day she went silent on social media. Despite initial overdose claims, toxicology found no drugs. Her phone, wallet, and ID are still missing. Cleveland police haven't confirmed if the case is suspicious, while her family continues to demand transparency, citing racial and lifestyle bias.
What was Reyna's path in the last 2 weeks after Twitter? That's essentially what we're trying to find out. So like if there's anybody that knows anything about her whereabouts after January 2nd, that's what we need to figure out. Pretty much we have everything mapped up all the way up until that point, but it's January 2nd is when she went dark on Twitter, and there's really nothing after that. But I know that somebody had to have seen her and noticed her within that 2-week period between that date and when she was found on the 16th.
What are your thoughts about how they're handling this?
The investigation, I think that, well, my personal thoughts is that they started way too late. That's just basically the best way that I can put it. I'm really, I guess, frowning upon the fact that initially, when she was found, it seemed like they were more concerned about wanting to pick up my sister's body, wanting to get my mom to make arrangements to pick up her body, rather than actually trying to figure out why she got to the place where she was found in. And it seemed like it was only when we went to social media, and I posted my TikTok video, my mom posted her post on X, and it got picked up by like local news outlets, and then kind of just grew from there, that they actually started to really do their jobs. So I think that, that's ridiculous. I think that the response would have been wildly different if Reyna looked different. And it's unfortunate that that's the society that we live in. But I'm glad that they are actively doing something now, but they should have been actively doing something from the very beginning.
I spoke with about 4 different PIs. There's one that in particular that I think we're going to move forward with, because I like the way that he approached the situation and the help he was looking to offer. So we'll be meeting with him to try to get him on retainer so he can start doing research from a personal level. And then what we really need also is for people to not forget this and to provide information. If you saw something, say something. Love her or hate her, nobody deserves this, and please, just what we mostly need is information. We need people to ask people to ask people to ask people, because all it takes is that one person who knows something that will open this up for us and give us the answers we're looking for, and find out what happened to her, who put her there, how did she get there, what happened. It just needs that one person. So if we can just ask the community, ask the public, and ask people to ask people to ask people to ask people to ask people, share. And now I still get comments from people. In fact, I was corresponding with someone today who was offering advice, and she wasn't involved. She doesn't have any information, but she has advice. Why don't you try this, and you can try that. We're also hoping to possibly, once we get working with the private investigator, to have our own reward. You can call Crime Stoppers and they offer a reward, but we'd also would like to offer our own reward for credible information that gets us the answers that we're looking for as to what happened to Reyna. So we just want people to think what if this was your daughter? What if this was your sister? Your loved one? We just want to know what happened.
Yeah.
We didn't get to say goodbye. We didn't get to say, I love you. We didn't get to hug her. The last time we hugged her was the last time we hugged her. And that is very hard to deal with that.
Situations like this need to stop happening.
In Cleveland, you're better than this. As a community, you deserve more than this. You deserve to have not, being considered nameless, faceless people found in abandoned homes. Mm-hmm. They're people. They're loved ones too.
Truly, it is only luck. It's literally pure luck that they were able to ID Reyna based off of her fingerprints, because so many people don't even have that.